and speaking on Kendrick Lamar, and the headline, I think this is Hip Hop DX. It says Tyler, the Creator, admits Kendrick Lamar's family ties verse ruined him. Terry, I know you saw this article. You might be a little bit more familiar than the rest of us. Like, what was the basis of what Tyler was saying as it related to Kendrick?
So what he's saying, the premise behind that statement is saying that by hearing that verse, and mind you, that verse isn't like this immaculate, super hip hop, lyrical, spiritual type verse.
Agreed.
But what he was saying is basically hearing Kendrick kind of go out of his ordinary lane, and he's using different voices. He's using a whole different flow, and he still holds himself to that high state of being one of the most elite MCs. It's making Tyler have to pretty much go harder, because he's like, man, he's at this point in his stage in his career. That means that I have to continue to work harder because he's doing the same thing. So that's what he means by ruined him. And Tyler is a very creative individual. We all know that. But, but ruined is kind of another term for inspired in this sense.
I actually like that. Like, it's dope to see, creatives that are actually put out good content. Tyler's consistent. Like, we've talked about that. Like, to me, he has the best, unless I'm mistaken, there's something that I'm missing. We've talked about, the couple albums and, the verses, if you will, in terms of those two albums. I think Tyler's album is better than both of those.
Tyler is up for album of the year already.
Oh, definitely.
And he by far has the best album that I've heard this year, unless there's something I'm missing. If
Nas, if we talking about mainstream stuff, Tyler and Nas is probably my favorite two of the year so far.
I would agree. And like I said, chat, throw something in the chat if there's something that I'm missing. But those two albums, I got Tyler number 1. I would have Nas 2. But I think this is dope.
I'm gonna throw AZ somewhere in there. I'm still listening to AZ.
You know what? I listened to the AZ entirely. Here's the one thing that I'll say about AZ. AZ's smart. He still sounds like vintage AZ. Mm-hmm. He's also reached out to vintage produce, like the Pete Rock got a joint on there. That's one of my favorite joints on the album. But AZ also has some of the production on there that is, if you want to call it, it's updated, but it's still AZ. Like, he doesn't sound like the old guy.
He has updated features on there as well.
True. He doesn't sound like the old guy that's reaching for something. Everything sounds like the updated version of AZ. So shout out to AZ. I like that album.
And you know what album was good? People did not give it enough run or enough attention. Lloyd Banks.
I didn't listen to it like that.
I listened to Lloyd Banks. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
What's it called?
Oh, that's what's so bad. I didn't get enough run to where
I have to Google it. Let me Google it.
He put it out. Gosh, I want to say maybe March or April, but Lloyd Banks put out a nice project.
Element of Surprise.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nate Jeezy just brought up D Smoke. D Smoke did release.
I haven't listened to that yet.
When did that drop?
Last
Friday.
I'm a huge D Smoke fan.
I saw a couple of songs.
Westside Gunn put out another album.
He did.
Yeah.
And it's featuring some engineering by the homie Ill Brown.
Shout out to the homie Ill Brown, man. Put some respect on our homie's name, man.
If I want to be 100, his 2 mixes on the album are the cleanest mixes on there.
Nice.
Talk to him.
See, I didn't know what I heard. So if I probably re-listened to it, I'd probably be able to pick them out.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Griselda has a gritty sound.
Yeah.
My favorite song on there is track 3. This is the first song where they actually start rapping.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, because there's a couple like intros and like just
like real Papa Woo-ish.
Track 3 is
joints.
hard. Like with him, Benny, and Conway.
Yeah.
But now, if you like, they have that gritty sound naturally. But the 2 songs that Ill's engineered was featuring Stove God Cooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can the difference
in Stove God on this album.
Yeah, the difference in how those sound to me personally.
Yeah.
Is a cleaner mix. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because that's the homie, but
nah, man, Ills has his progression as an engineer. We've been able to watch it because that's the homie. Like, he's.
Are you talking about on the B-sides?
Yeah, B-sides.
Okay. Yeah.
He's always been an incredible producer, but he started really getting into his engineer bag and really honing his craft. And like now to see him getting those engineering credits, I'm just happy for him because it's way overdue. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the homie on that. But in regards to like what we're talking about here, I like this. Like, you should be inspired by the elite to try to do certain things, and it should keep you up to try to.
Hip hop is competition.
Yeah,
Like it's
built on competition.
yeah,
that's a point that's been lost on a lot of these people.
agreed.
Everybody want to be friends. It's kind of like the NBA.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be friends now. Like, remember when the NBA used to be, if we ain't on the same squad, there's no befriending you until the season is over. And we may not even be friends then. But
that's the AAU culture because, you know, these guys grow up hooping every summer together or
on travel teams.
Yeah, like that's what messed that up. I mean, they still compete at the highest level, but to Terry's point, back then, it wasn't
no
like
social media and trading jerseys and all that. Like, you know.
And don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to be the sourpuss and say that you ain't supposed to be friends with.
Yeah, I'm glad Bill Lane Beer was out there punching people in the face. No, I mean, like, it was just a different I'm not saying it was better, you know, but it was different.
Me and my homies used to fight all the time on the basketball court, and then we'll be cool afterwards. It's just
so about this Kendrick stuff.
Sorry,
tangents, y'all, tangents.
Sorry, let me steer this thing back here. So, Sean, what do you think about?
Well, Michael, you know.
What do you think about what Tyler said about Kendrick?
I want to talk more about Lloyd Banks.
Let me tell you, I love the hip hop music.
Good, and, man. We appreciate it.
And
makes me tap my feet.
Oh, man, it's got a nice bop. You know?
Very danceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a nice jig to it.
A jig.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do a little do-si-do. But no, I was just kind of joking. But yeah, to all this, yeah, I think it's cool. I like to see Tyler. I feel like Tyler's doing it the right way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I said this a few weeks ago. I don't really have anything else to add to what you guys already said, but I said I said a few weeks ago when I was talking about Tyler, like, I just like Tyler as a human being.
Yeah.
And as a hip hop artist and as a fan and as a person that's in it, like everything that he's a part of, like, I just appreciate. So, like, I appreciate this comment from him, you know, because he's given praise to somebody who deserves it, and he's not being like bitter or you know, like treating it like, oh, I deserve, you know. It's just like the Khaled thing, you know, like it's okay to tell somebody that you like what they're doing. It doesn't reflect on your art, you know.
I mean, he's one of the few that I look forward to seeing what is next. Yeah. He's one of those guys where I'm like, all right, where is he going to take it? Yeah. And you know, with him being inspired, I actually like that because I don't know where he's going to go next. Like, he's reminds me of Organized Noise, just with the versatility and how he, you know, just comes left field, you know, but the left field is still high quality left field.
Just creative.
It is very creative.
He just reminds me of an artist. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do him at the end of the day. And that's one of the things that makes him stand out. He's not scared to veer into a different lane and do something different in order to keep himself relevant.
Yeah, and to the comment, David, he is being humble, but he doesn't have to be, and I think that's what makes it so cool.
I was talking to my my cousin over the weekend about Tyler, and I said the first thing he says is, "And I don't know, man. Talking about old boy that he painting his nails." I'm like, "You ain't listen to the music, did you?" He was like, "Nah, but I don't know if I'm trying to hear all that." I said, "You looked at him and you saw him, and you haven't gotten a chance to really listen to the product, like actually hit play." He's like, "Nah, I ain't listened to it yet." So he texted me back and he was like, this is the most recent project with Drama. He texted me back and he was like, "Man, he got heat." I said, "I told you." And he's like, "Man, if I'd have known that, I'd have listened to this. I said, "It ain't about that. You here now. Go back and listen to his catalog and thank me later." And now he's going back to Flower Boy and all the rest of those records. So I'm a fan of dude, man.
Hey,
like,
don't let the fact that man's confident enough to paint his own fingernails steer you away from
the fact that he's
music.
making his heat.
Yeah,
100%. So
he ain't the first artist to paint his fingers.
Sure ain't. Sure isn't.
Not at all.
Tupac had a nose ring too, y'all.
And wore some interesting. Don't get Red August. See,
I'm just saying.
Don't do that because Red August don't get started, man.
Pac didn't have any suspect lines though. There are some artists that have some suspect lines.
Well, this is true.
Suspect depending on what's your definition.
No, man.
Didn't we? Yeah, we did a show about this. Yeah.
No, don't do this. We're not about to. Don't do this, man. Don't do that.
Yeah. I don't even think we could do that show again.
Nah, that show is gone. Yeah, that show is gone.
You can go watch it though.
All episodes available on all your streaming platforms.
There you go.
Check them out.
Go back and find it and comment. Yeah, how about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't go down that road. But nah, man, I hope it inspires him to make some more great music. And Kendrick on the clock, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what's going on. We know about the TDE situation. I get that. You don't want to push greatness, but bam on the clock at this point. It's been a little while.
Pusha T said he dropping something this year.
We'll see.
Well, you can will see.
Yeah, exactly.
Pusha T like that, man.
No, I mean I do that for anybody who says I got something coming this year. Or
is it done?
Until it's done.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure you join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. You can also catch playback of all of our shows on any podcast app and youtube.com/newoldheadsnetwork. And go to newoldheads.com/community to join our Discord.